Well, you found your life partner, which for many of us might have had its challenges to begin with. But perhaps an even bigger challenge to the institution of marriage itself is now that you've found the perfect mate, how do you properly manage the money side of things? Starting now, even before you take that walk down the aisle. Well, with me today to talk about some of this are financial planners Nicholle Overkamp and Sarah Blankenship. They are the owners of Wilcox Financial in Williamsville. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, now before a newly engaged couple signs that marriage license on the dotted line, how important is it, Nicholle, to early on assess their own financial status as well as their partners?
Being married is a team, and money shouldn't be any different. So knowing your goals, looking at financial assessment for each couple, and knowing prior to getting hitched, what's on the balance sheet, how much debt are you dealing with from each side of things, what are the benefits for your employer that you can maybe start to think about taking advantage of, what are your taxes going to look like, and being on the same page is to me so important.
I'm sure many young 20 or 30 somethings walk down the aisle with student loans, car debt, and credit card debt looming over their heads. How important is it to have some sort of joint action plan on reducing this debt before the big day, Sarah?
It's absolutely important. It's important to have a budget for your wedding, a budget for your life together, and really stick with it. It's going to be a balancing act all the way through. You don't want to stop paying off of your obligations while you're saving for your wedding.
You know, for me and my wife, and we've been married a long time, we schedule monthly calendar talks, which very often leads into money talks. How important is this, especially in the courtship and engagement phase of a couple's relationship?
The number one cause of stress in marriages is finances and money. The reason you've been married for so long is probably because you're on the same page financially and you guys talk openly about money and your goals, and you're not hiding anything from one another to cause future resentment or arguments. So I would say that for folks who are married or getting married, to always be open and talk about everything. The more you talk about your goals and what you want and write it down, the more likely you are to accomplish everything.
Communication key to everything, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, okay, I know it's different for everyone, but your opinion on joint checking accounts versus separate? Upside, downside?
I don't think that there's anything wrong with having things separate. You don't have to have it joint. I think you have to do something that works for you and is sustainable, something you can keep track of. There is some leverage to be had when you're talking about mortgages or loans, sure, as far as what your credit looks like. So it depends on your situation.
Okay, so everybody's different.
Exactly.
Nicholle, give us that one tip that you feel might be the most important piece of information those young couples watching out there are going to learn.
Talk about it and be open with one another, and don't hold anything back. And we always encourage, hire a coach, hire an advisor to be that mediator, to educate both parties on what they should be thinking about, talking about, and we can remove those uncomfortable conversations for you and items that you might not want to actually ask your spouse directly.
You don't want to wait until you've got a situation or a need where you have to hit up a financial coach.
No, the earlier the better.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, from a financial standpoint, there's much to consider, and together you need to look at the big picture, like your retirement goals and the nitty-gritty things like insurance policies and estate plans that may need updating. Wilcox Financial is here to help with all of that. Sarah, how can newly engaged couples get a hold of you?
Well, we are on the BBA website, and they can also look us up at wilcoxfinancialgroup.com or call us at 716-906-3175.
And there you have it. It's important to get your financial house in order before signing on the dotted line.